Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amiza Zuwaika, ZP03326. So today I will present on the case study for catalytic solution CSI. So basically the synopsis for this case study is that the Catalytic Solutions Incorporated, which is we call it as CSI, was founded in Santa Barbara, California in 1996 by Steve Golden and Bill Anderson. So this company has developed a unique catalytic coating and an innovative manufacturing process. Apply a coating to a substrate that forms the functional elements of the catalytic converter, and these catalytic converters are used to reduce the pollution caused by the combustion engines. And for this company, technological advantage was mainly due to the fact that its converters use about 50 to 80% less platinum group metals, or they call it is PGMs, than other competitive converter. And this company also have a savings range from $4 to $200 depending on the usage of the PGMs. And the CSI strive to penetrate the world of automobiles by conducting tests and endeavors to meet ISO, meet the grid safety requirements. And this company has a goal for development in field other than the automobile sector. For such, the Honda company recognized this quality of the CSI company well in the initial test. So everyone at the Honda company was very impressed with the outstanding performance of CSI products. Okay, for the first questions is evaluate the CSI performance, measurement and the compensation system. What changes would you suggest to be made to this system, and if any, please explain. So from the issues that we have from the case study of CSI, we managed to come out that this catalytic converter industry is a very competitive industry, which is there are only a few companies that provided the catalytic converter, and the original equipment or commitments for the converter requires several years to develop. As mentioned earlier, that this company is very limited, have a limited supplies, and CSI, this company also is a very young company, just a few years back, about less than 10 years in operation, is still very couple of years from profitability. And the problem definition for this case study is that this compensation system focuses on the short-term goals, and the plan focuses on the equity compensation for all the employees. And the equity compensation is inefficient for a non-publicly traded company, which the CSI will go into. And the focus on the company performance. This company only is more focused on the company performance. Thus, the individual employees may not be as driven, since they have a less control over the total corporate performance. And also, this company has a very little financial measures for their compensation and measurement systems. And what I will suggest or alternative solution that will might be a good alternative for the company, remove the stock option temporarily. As we know, this company have a stock option rewarded to their employees. How about they remove the stock option, because as we know, stock the control unable to control the stock movement, whether it's going high or going very low. So temporarily move the stock options, and increase the target bonus to from 15 to 30% based on the employee base salary. They also can add some key features target to the compensation system, and then the individual performance reward system that is consistent with the corporate goals. So meaning when the employee are doing their work individually, they are in line or in par with the corporate goals or the corporate vision and mission. So from here, I think from the alternative solution, we expect the employees to be motivated by the more efficient compensation net packages that offered, with the more financial key targets that be implemented. They will be more motivated, and then the individual performance also will be linked to the compensations. And then the individuals, the employees also will be focusing also on the key financial issue, meaning they will not only be doing work without thinking on the company situation, they will be more involved in the corporate vision and mission, and as well try to achieve what the company is trying to achieve as well. Okay, so for the question number 2, fast forward in 10 years, assume that SSI has been successful. It is now a much larger company, public company. It has 3 operating divisions, which include the investment center that focus on the different markets. What would you expect the SSI measurement and compensation system to look like at that time, and why? Okay, so I think so if you go to the basics, the measurement and the compensation system should be based on a business model with cost and effect relationship. So evaluation criteria for the employee should be measured with aligned with the strategy of the company, meaning the question that we ask when we develop this, does it tell people what they should be focusing on? So does the company or the employees of the company knows what they are doing in the company, what they should be doing, what they should be focusing? And then the measurability, meaning the performance or the measurements, the performance of the company or the employee should be able to be measured, whether it's being objective, complete or responsive. And the measurements compensation system should be linked to the value of the company. So are we confident that it creates economic value, or is it just merely an internal success story? So so I would propose that I would think CSI would able to have a proper measurement system when they have a balanced scorecard for their company, which means they will be measured financially for all their employees. How they to succeed financially, how should we appear to our shareholders. They knew they will need to please their shareholders, to please their stakeholders, so they have the objective, what measures for the financial, what targets they will be set up, and what are the initiatives for the financial factors. And then they also have to have the internal business process in order to satisfy the shareholders and customer. What are business that they are more focusing on? What is the core business that they are going to pursue for the company? And then they also have to have a learning and growth factors in their company, so that to be able to achieve their vision, or how will they sustain their ability, or to improve their company in being the catalytic converters as a pioneer in being the catalytic converter solutions company. And also they have to have a factor in terms of customer, which of the customer group of people they're going to target as their customer, what kind of company, what kind of group of people, in order to achieve their mission. How would they appear or to represent themselves to their customer. So the balanced scorecard is actually a performance measurement system which incorporates the financial and non-financial measurement, which I explained earlier, in four different kind of perspective, which is the financial, customer, internal business processes, and learning and growth. This is taken from Kaplan and Norton 1992. Okay, so on deciding what kind of reward of incentive would be offered to the employee is a significant part of the designing the incentive plan based on the balanced scorecard performance. So behavior psychologist taken from Hazelberg 1987 emphasized that both extrinsic and intrinsic motivation factors are vital for encouraging the individual at the workplace. So I think for the 10 years, CSI will have a complete of a reward system for the employees in terms of in being able to provide a better compensation systems. They will have a total reward which includes intrinsic rewards with self motivations, and extrinsic rewards will involve the surroundings or the company goals and the organization vision and mission. The intrinsic rewards from the company will involve monetary factors and non-monetary factors, which is recognition, like award of being able to service which for a long time within the company. The monetary will involve indirect compensation and benefits, also indirect compensations. So for the direct compensation, which involve the short-term and long-term type of bonus or whatnot, and the basic salary will be involved. So in 10 years time, I think basically they will have like a total reward system, which includes the monetary and the monetary, which is the basic of the public company, a big organization company. Last but not least, what CSR should have is that objective intensive plans, which enables the employees to clearly understand the basis, the consistency of performance measure on which they are evaluated. And then CSI also at that time might have individual and group performance incentive plans, should be met depending on the different variable specifics to each organization, including the hierarchy of positions, goal to be achieved, preference of employees, and overall organizational culture, and current and future performance. As we all know, they have the current performance evaluation, which is the balanced scorecards, very important. Organization also should have emphasized the future performance measure when designing the compensation plans in a par with the balanced scorecard. So they will have a future, meaning if they are going to expand their businesses, other value will need to be included in their performance plans. Financial and non-financial reward, to ensure that the compensation system is rigorous, satisfy the needs to the different employee organization. It should consist of both financial and non-financial rewards. And then they also should have a customer's incentive plans, which is although the customized incentive are quite difficult to develop, but because it requires more time and energy, but they are more in line with and better reflect of the balanced scorecard that I mentioned earlier on. And then measures and perspectives in the incentive plans. The incentive plan should incorporate all the balanced scorecard perspective used in the organization, since this perspective reflect the overall of the company strategy. Also, it's important to stress the critical measure related to the employee performance evaluation, so that the employee can see the evaluation made in the end. So the transparency is there and should be there when conducting these incentive plans. And last but not least is the communication and feedback. I think CSI should have a proper or transparent communication and feedback to their company, for the company be able to get feedback on how they are performing against the target or objective of the company. And then they will also know on what they are being measured of when doing the measurement system or where they are standing, because by seeing where they stand, they will be able to not only close their performance gaps, but also achieve a higher result in the future. Also, indirectly will improve the organization or the company performance in overall. So that's it from me. Thank you.